So to begin, let's start with the basic why when it comes to a resume's purpose. Why do resumes exist? Well, it's kind of simple. Resumes exist because there's a company that needs to fill a position. So let's talk about that need. Well, companies are not in the business of just hiring people and spending their money just for the fun of it, right? So if there's a position that they need to fill, it's because they have no other choice. They can't not do it necessarily internally with somebody who's already there. So someone has to take that spot to help them resolve a certain problem or help them with a solution and help them with a particular need. Our job when we're writing a resume is to find ways to make sure that we can communicate how we can fulfill that particular need. And let's focus on that a little bit more. Let's talk about need. And my mindset has really changed about how I understand need when it comes with resumes. When we're talking about need, we're not talking about our needs. We're not talking about you. When we're talking about needs, we're talking about the needs of the company. And again, I think this makes all the difference. We need to start thinking about when you're putting your resume together, or actually during your whole job search process when you're applying to a job for a particular company. Your whole mindset should not be focused on what you need, which is, basically, I need a job, I want to make money, I need this position. Your focus should be on how can I resolve these issues for the company that's seeking to hire someone for this position. I think that's a very important change in how you should see the job search process. How can I help this company fulfill that need? How can my skills and experience be beneficial to this company? And I can be the person to provide these solutions. So we're going to look at that, but first we got to understand all the players, all the individuals involved in the resume process and the hiring process. So first, we have hiring stakeholders. Now, typically a person would say hiring managers, but I don't use that terminology because I think that when it comes to resume, people often think that when you do a job application, you apply for a position, the person who's going to see your resume and review it is going to be someone in human resources. But I know from my many years experience of working and being on both sides of an applicant and being a person reviewing resumes and hiring people at many different companies, more often than not, it's definitely not the hiring manager doing that job. It's not HR. HR is putting out the job posts and they are receiving the applications and the resumes. But the people who are actually reviewing these resumes, bringing people in, and actually interviewing them is, in my experience, has never been HR or hiring managers. It's been hiring stakeholders. And the reason, again, I use this terminology is because a hiring stakeholder can be anyone. It can be someone from the CEO of the company to the intern who's brought in or have to review some of these resumes. It can be someone from the assistant or secretary. You have no idea who's reviewing your resume at all. So your resume has to be dynamic enough to meet the needs of all these different individuals. So again, that's why I use the term hiring stakeholders rather than hiring managers. So again, we're circling back to this ideal of need, right? So when it comes to applicants, there's two types of applicants. There's high value applicants and there's low value applicants. And really, the main difference is how they communicate their ability to solve the solutions or needs of a company and actually are able to communicate that successfully to hiring stakeholders. So that's really what you're doing when it comes to your resume. In your resume, are you presenting, communicating effectively and good enough that to hiring stakeholders, they believe that you can fulfill their needs, that you can provide the solutions they're looking for. And that's pretty much your whole job when it comes to putting your resume together. Demonstrate and show that you are a high value applicant, right? You might think that's more easier than said, but I'm going to help you out with that because there's certain concepts that can definitely help you effectively do that. So we're looking at 3 different things here to start with. First one's called Don't Make Me Think. And really, this is really the core of the idea of usability. The second one is a 5 to 10 seconds rule. And thirdly, above the fold. Don't worry, we'll get further into this.